When Elias woke up, the first thing he noticed was the silence inside his head. Usually mornings came with the clatter of unfinished thoughts, reminders, regrets, half-formed plans. But today there was a strange order, as if his mind had been neatly arranged overnight. He stretched, swung his legs off the bed, and muttered a word he had never heard before. Sirith. The sound startled him. It wasn't English. It wasn't anything. Yet as soon as it left his mouth, he understood it perfectly. Balance. Elias froze. He tried another word. Malachi. Hunger but emotional. His heart pounded. The words flowed effortlessly now, forming sentences with complex meanings, ideas that English would need entire paragraphs to explain. The grammar lived in him, instinctive and complete, like a memory he'd forgotten he had. He rushed to his laptop and typed the words into search engines, translation tools, linguistic databases. Nothing, no matches, no roots, no cousins. The language did not exist, yet he could speak it fluently. At the cafe downstairs, Elias tested it carefully. He ordered his usual coffee in English. But when the barista asked how his morning was going, Elias hesitated and answered in the new tongue. Novelli Thruscan. The barista blinked. Sorry? Elias smiled awkwardly. Good, just good. But something odd happened. The man behind him in line, an old gentleman with tired eyes, stopped fidgeting. His shoulders relaxed. The noise of the cafe seemed to dull for a moment, like someone had turned down the volume of the world. Elias realized with a chill that while people couldn't understand the language, they could feel it. Back in his apartment, he spoke aloud for hours. The language had words for moments that humans rarely named. The ache of outgrowing someone you still love. The quiet pride of surviving something no one noticed. The heaviness of a future that feels too big to step into. Each word carried emotion like a frequency. By evening, Elias understood the truth. This language wasn't meant to be heard. It was meant to be received. When he spoke it, people calmed. When he whispered it, his own anxieties loosened. When he sang it softly, alone in his room, he cried not from sadness but from release. He stopped going to his office job within a week. Instead, Elias sat on park benches and spoke to the air. People gathered without knowing why. A woman grieving a brother she never got to say goodbye to. A teenager on the edge of running away. A man drowning in a life that looked successful from the outside. Elias never explained himself. He simply spoke. Dirense lo kai. You are not broken. You are unfinished. Months later, a linguistics professor found him and begged to record the language. Elias shook his head gently. It disappears when you try to capture it, he said, like a feeling. And where did it come from? The professor asked. Elias looked up at the sky, searching for an answer that felt true. I think, he said slowly, it's the language we all think in before we learn how to speak. That night, as Elias fell asleep, the words began to fade. By morning they were gone. But the silence in his head was no longer empty. It was peaceful,